Listening to Off the Record on WKNC 88.1 FM. This is a nonprofit student-run radio station based out of North Carolina State University. I'm Valkyrie here with Off the Record, as I previously mentioned. I'm very accurate. And I have multiple people in the studio with me right now. If y'all want to introduce yourselves.
Hello, I'm a voice. This is Erika from Bangzz.
So specifically, that voice.
I am
Hey,
a
this
voice.
is Jess.
Are you also from Bangzz?
I am from Bangzz.
Let's go. Okay.
Let's go.
So y'all, I heard, through the grapevine that y'all are playing a couple shows.
We've been playing a bunch of shows, but we're coming back because we're playing some shows coming up next week. We're going to be at the Cat's Cradle Back Room with Katie Alice Greer and her new solo project. She's really cool. I don't know if you ever... Okay, you're nodding your head because you know who that person is. Awesome. And it's going to be us, Katie Alice Greer, and then Celestagram. Also, amazing Carbro artist, has been playing in the area forever and is making psychedelic witchy pop stuff that I adore. So I think it's gonna be a really cool lineup. Awesome. Yeah, and then we have other show coming up as well.
Yes, that one we're very familiar with. So I don't know if anyone knows, in the audience knows, local bands, local beer. That's used to be a thing before the pandemic, especially. That kind of faded away. We're trying to bring it back, and the first show will be on October 1st. It's a Sunday at Transfer Co. and y'all will be headlining. Yeah.
Wow. Okay, so not to feel sounding uninformed, but I'm just really excited right now because I didn't realize y'all were bringing back local band, local beer because that's
Oh, did I not mention that?
No, it was just you want to play a show? I was yeah, rock and roll. Yeah. No, that's so exciting because that was such a staple of Raleigh. And
exactly.
I don't know. I feel since that really kicked off a lot of local bands. I feel so that's really cool.
Yeah,
I'm glad you're doing that.
We were there's a local band, local beer shaped hole in Raleigh. I wanted before I ended my GM term to at least try to bring that back. And for legal reasons, the Poorhouse I think technically has some claim to that name, so we're calling it local beer, local bands to really.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
Different. That's so clever.
But yeah, y'all will be playing alongside Rachel Hirsch and my sister Mara.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome. I love both of those people. So
there we go. Let's see. So y'all mentioned you've been playing shows recently. What kind of shows are we talking about?
The last show we played Women to the Front Fest in Asheville, and that was amazing. Yeah. And then before that, we played the Punk Black event at the Pinhook, I believe, was the one before that. And that was another great time. A bunch of bands, Noir, I remember. Yeah, it was amazing.
Let's go. Yeah, I was excited to see all the Hopscotch. I was at the day party that got rained out.
Oh my
right then. That
gosh.
was tragic. Yeah.
So tragic. It was such a bummer. We actually did play, but it was 2 hours later. And it was just I had no idea what was going on the whole time. And I was just in standby mode. And I'm what do we do? I'm I don't know. But I was for me as a human, I'm man, I brought my stuff all the way here to Raleigh. At that point, if you don't play a show, it's such a bummer, for your adrenaline. Because we've done that before. That's happened, the track show that happened. But it's just such a heartbreak. So it's just at least I got to release that what do they call it? Somatic energy, I'm sure. Therapist, what do you call it? Okay, yeah, but one of those things. So
wait. I was also I've been at both of the shows that y'all got rained out on. That's
Were you at tracks too?
I was at tracks.
Oh my gosh.
No.
That stage is gorgeous.
it is.
Secretly
I love that area.
gorgeous
Yeah.
stage. Yeah.
It's by a Target, but it's really cool. Yeah.
By a Target. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, that was
Yeah, that was fun. Well, yeah. Anyways.
Yeah. We ended up playing tracks again, but they did a different location.
Right.
Yeah.
Amazing. So I know y'all of course played Cat's Cradle Back Room before with Wednesday. That was really cool.
Yes.
Yeah. Do y'all like that space? Is that a fun venue for y'all?
I do. I think the sound is amazing back there, and yeah, they're friendly. I feel like the bartender, she's always there, and she's really nice. And yeah, I enjoy it. Yeah, I love it.
I mean, it's a great sounding room. I live in Carborough, so that's and I didn't grow up here. I grew up in Japan, but I live here now, and I've been lived in Carborough for over 10 years, and that has been my go-to venue where I've sat on the stage for shows of bands that are huge because they have to come through North Carolina, and I'm just yes. But so that place is super important to me. But the back room again sounds great. if you don't want to be near people and you don't like, you want to be in your own little bubble, you can go upstairs.
Yes, love the upstairs area.
See,
Yeah.
you want options when you go to shows. Sometimes you don't want to be in the pit. Sometimes you want to be in a safe place up above the pit, So like, I think I like having those options, and it's like one of those, doesn't feel like there's a bad spot in the house. Like, yeah. And like, yeah, good drinks.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, it's always so funny how like people announce, touring artists have like, we're playing Atlanta, we're playing LA, we're playing Carborough, North Carolina.
I know.
It's
My gosh, I just had this conversation. Yeah, because it'll be on tour shirts, right?
Yeah.
And that's what I love
or they'll
about.
call it like Durham, like approximated. That's always.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the
See,
Carborough erasure. Yeah.
I mean, we do that on tour, so I feel kind of bad because we'll be like, "Oh, where are you from? We're from Durham." I'm like, "Well, I live in Carborough, but that's you can't say that. Like, really, you
Carborough.
can, but
What's
like,
that? Yeah.
they really can't. People can't place this. It's like, well, it becomes Durham,
Yeah.
Or I even saw like a local 506 was like called Raleigh in a poster recently. Yeah.
Wow.
That's funny.
That's
Hilarious. But like, I mean, just this weekend they were like, and this is Bangzz from Raleigh. And I was like,
no offense, but come on.
Yeah.
So where do y'all consider yourselves as being from?
Oh, see, this is a
Durham.
complicated question. See,
Because I've been in Durham for 19 years, so I say Durham.
Okay.
But I think we always give love to both, if I'm not mistaken.
we've started to
like
just
to.
because like it's
Okay.
because it's just like
Yeah.
because it's like no, I don't actually live in
But-
Durham.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, where are you from is kind of like a complicated question.
No, yeah, of course.
Yeah, because I definitely I grew up, like I said, I grew up in Japan. I moved here when I was 18, and it's like, is this my home? I don't know. Yes and no, right? It's like I have multiple homes,
Yeah, no, it's
and
hard to,
not
like,
like in a
pin down.
negative way, but like I guess in a, there's just multiple homes,
Yeah.
It always feels different.
For sure. I feel like
TBH, yeah.
I say I grew up in LA, but as the years keep going, I mean, I was there for 21 years, so I've been in Durham for 19. So it's
it's
like,
starting to even
at the
out.
point, I don't know.
Yeah. But I think it's hard, like, but for me, it's like when you live in a space where it's like, because I don't know, I don't get in contact, like, I have to get on a plane to go home. Like, that sucks. Like, I don't get to go home. Like, it sucks. And I can't just, like, go somewhere where someone reminds me of home. Nobody reminds me of home. It sucks, So, like, that's, like, a little, like, definitely constant push and pull. So I think there's a part of me feels like, I don't know. I feel like there was more of the me that I could see outside of me here. Does that make sense? So that's very abstract. I have a very abstract mind, but I love it. So
That's cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, we love the abstract mind through your lyrics always.
Oh.
Yeah. And for anyone listening who I don't know who hasn't heard of Bangzz who's listening to this, but just in case, could y'all describe the group that y'all play in?
I mean, it's like a garage punk kind of duo situation. Very loud, aggressive. Is like, I don't know. It's just like That's the vibe. I don't know. I want it to be like snarly, like, but it is. It's it's a place for all the aggression to be released. Really, I keep saying aggression. I don't know if it's the right word, but it feels like the closest right now.
Okay.
Yeah. I also just realized you're wearing a special interest shirt.
I am.
That's
That
super
show was
cool.
great. Yeah. That was also
Yeah.
the Cat's Cradle back room.
Yes, it was.
That was my first like legal drink at a show. Was at this show specifically.
Oh,
That's cool.
Yeah. That's.
Mine was terrible. It was exam season, and it was like a Smirnoff Ice because I had to study. I know. Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone
that's
shed
really
a
gets
tear.
into the
Moment of
mood.
silence
Yeah.
for me.
mine was in New York, and it wasn't fun. It's my family. Never mind. I'm sorry. Nothing. My Aunt Amy,
Really?
she made it worth it. It was great.
So yeah, I know. Well, I remember when I asked y'all to play a show. You're like, oh, we've been very booked lately. What's it been like being like playing like shows a lot this fall? I know y'all have had a pretty busy schedule.
I like it. I like it because honestly, it feels good because you get to the point, it's nerve wracking. I used to have panic attacks and stuff like that. I mean, I'm a very anxious human. You can probably hear it in my voice. But I think you get used to it a little bit. And there's a part of you that just like gets into the flow of it. And I realize like every time I play a couple shows in a row, it's just like this like kind of peaceful feeling.
Okay.
So I enjoy that. But it's also because you're practicing more, so it's easier. I think that's also the mechanics of it, So I mean, I enjoy it, but then there's also a reality of like sometimes you need to take a break from shows to like write or like record or like finish mixing your album and stuff like that. Yeah. But overall, I think it's really healthy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's really
What do you think?
It's been fun. I like it a lot. It's been
yeah.
great.
And are y'all hinting at an album? Is that?
Yeah. So that's in the works right now. Yeah.
Okay.
No. busting my butt right now. Like, yeah, mixing it, trying to make it really cool, and like, yeah, I'm excited about it.
Well, do we have a timeline? Do we have a vague?
I mean, okay. Well, the thing is with this stuff, you gotta give a little lead time, and like you gotta like align the stars, and then you gotta dig deep into the universe. It's like it's a lot of work. No, but as
it's
far
like
as
celestial.
I want it to be out within the next year for sure, absolutely. And then, but as far as we'll see soon though.
Okay.
It's definitely
Soon
it is
TM.
burning a hole in my pocket. We've already started playing some of the songs out, so if you come to our shows, you'll hear some of the new stuff. It's just not on Spotify yet.
How long has this been like in the making?
Do you remember when we actually laid down the original tracks? I think it was March or something.
Okay, yeah.
Do you think it was April?
Yeah, I was thinking that, but
cool. Only
not
because I was
sure.
recently flipping through a calendar and I was like, oh,
yeah.
So, but we're both saying springish.
Yeah.
Okay, spring kind
Spring.
of album. Yeah,
That's not that far ago. Hey,
Yeah.
yo, we're not. Yeah, like that just happened. We're like in
beautiful
fall.
day.
Around the
It was nice.
Yeah, we got
It was
a while.
definitely spring.
Mm-hmm.
So is it a springtime album? Or?
Is it a springtime album? I don't know. I mean, it's the typical like array of like stuff. Like there's songs about depression and things about being angry and but there's just like I don't know. I have no idea. I hope
Yeah.
so. I have no idea what season is. You know what? Answer is all seasons.
Yes.
Right?
Let's go.
And I feel like
That's
musically,
what you want.
yeah, really, there's a little bit of everything in it. I feel like we're doing things that we haven't done before, and it's like layered. I feel like, and I think it's really cool. I'm excited about it.
I'm also I just heard about it now and I'm very excited. Yeah, and if you're listening to this, you totally should be too. It's gonna go crazy. If you listen to this and you've never seen Bangzz, legally I cannot compel you to go to the show, but it's really cool. I'll say that. Y'all we're in Raleigh, of course, right now. Do you do you find like the Raleigh crowd any different than like, I don't know, if people are here and they only really know Raleigh, what would be like the crowd at like the Cat's Cradle versus like a Raleigh show?
I mean, it's also different, right?
I don't see much of a difference, honestly, because once we get there and we're in the venue and the people who are going to see the show, we're all, for the most part, I feel like-minded people who just want to have fun, listen to some good music. Some people want to like mosh or get in the pit, do that. But I really feel like it's a lot of like-minded people, and from my experience, I find that kind of across the board, sort of. For the most part, we've been really lucky to when we get to the venues. Like if we're at the Poorhouse, I feel like they're as cool as the people at the Pinhook, and it's just like, yeah, I don't know. I feel like music goers, especially now after the pandemic and stuff, we're all like just like-minded people who are there to want to have a good time, and I find it very comforting and it's awesome, and it's great. I don't know. That's what I would say.
Yeah. I think for me, I just thinking about, for some reason, when you said the question, it makes me think of like how the scene's changed really. And I do see a change in the Chapel Hill Carver scene post-COVID. And it's been, so that's kind of disheartening, it's just a little more spread out and like, like, I don't know, it's just, we lost a venue and like, it's just, I don't know, I feel like it feels a little different. So I noticed that. And then I've also seen like over the years, I feel like the Raleigh scene has exploded in a great, beautiful way, and that more people know about it. Part of that being hopscotch, and like people being like, hey, local bands are cool. Part of that being local band, local beer, or local beer, local band, blah, 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 But like, and that's, I think that you can see when people put work into the scene, how it expands, And so I've definitely seen that in Raleigh. And I think right now it's just about like, for me as being a Chapel Hill Carborough kid, like, see, I do claim it, right? Yeah. Yeah.
Carborough kid.
Yeah, I'm a Carborough kid. It's like, I do want to see that again because it's like, that scene is beautiful, and like deserves to thrive. Absolutely. Yeah. So like, yeah, that's how I interpreted your question.
That's a very valid interpretation. By venue, did you mean the Nightlight when you mentioned venue closing? Yeah.
I'm so sad.
No, did you ever like play shows there?
Yeah, so yeah, we definitely played the Nightlight. So my big thing is I run Manifest. Okay, so Manifest. Manifest has always traditionally been 3 venues, Local 506, the Cave, and the Nightlight. And I'm trying to bring the festival back, and it really just breaks my heart to not have that 3-venue thing again. So that's why it's just I've been like, and like, you know, but now it's just like, yeah. So that's something just like I've just like personally had to face and like grieve and then deal with. But like, yeah, that breaks my heart.
Yeah, because I don't know if I talked to you since Nightlight closed, but I remember I went, the last Manifest was like, there was something special about those, like the contrast in those 3 venues and how they all like kind of brought their own like energy to it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. And it's good having 3 spots, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm gonna try and troubleshoot and figure out something.
So is Manifest like potentially?
So right now, okay, wow, this is the first official. Wow, all right, this is the first time I'm saying it out loud to people other than Jess in the car the other day, and to the people involved as far as venue. Yeah, but we're trying to bring it back for the spring.
Huge.
It's gonna be Manifest.
Manifest
6.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but yeah.
Manifest was one of my first like post-pandemic like concert experiences. That was insane. I'm very excited for another Manifest.
That's awesome. Thanks for coming. That was shaky. I remember being like, it felt really touch and go, you know, just like throwing something, just because it was post-COVID and like you never know if it's gonna be like, oh my gosh, you know, like this is terrible, or like you should, you know, I don't know, you know, I have anxiety. Ask me what can go wrong. I'll give you a million examples.
It was so like, what if COVID, like what if everything gets shut down again? Like
everyone gets sick and it's all my fault.
Exactly. What if you're personally responsible for that? Yeah.
Absolutely. This just in.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Let's see. Is there anything else y'all want to let us know about the show in particular? Like either of the ones that are coming up. Any shout outs?
I mean, I would just say shout out, listen to the artists and support your local venues and your local scene, like you have been doing, obviously, because you're listening to WKNC right now. Like that is, I don't know. That's what keeps me alive, honestly. And I don't know. I think it's really important. I like the art that's right here.
Yeah, I feel like KNC's like kind of cultivated a locally minded like group of people, and I hope like I feel like your shows have also done that, and I'm glad to see that kind of like emergence around here.
Awesome.
Yeah. Let's see, is there anything else I want to hit on? I feel like we dropped some surprise bangers that I'm sure that your audience is gonna love to hear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, no more secrets. Do you have any more secrets you want to tell the radio?
Just like personally,
personal secrets.
Yeah, like just spill the tea.
All right, everyone whisper a secret into the microphone.
I really appreciate WKNC. They've been around forever, supporting me personally, and thanks. And, yeah.
Well, wish we could have y'all back for the Double Barrel. Like we have a policy of not like having multiple artists for Double Barrel, but like that Double Barrel performance was special when y'all played.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I appreciate that.
Did y'all enjoy that? Was that a good?
I mean, yeah. No, I remember having fun. It was February, and it was at the Poorhouse. Yep, I remember it.
Oh yeah, no,
real.
Because I feel like that was our first show in like a really long time. That was great. I remember. I had the booklet. Kept that.
I remember the booklet.
That's in my.
Yeah, that was really special too.
My little treasure trove of artifacts that I keep.
It was
cool.
Yeah. I thought the write up was really cool because it was someone who actually I don't know. Sometimes you get like write ups from people who are like, I have to write this and I don't know who you are, but this person actually knew who we were, and that was really special.
Fun.
I was like,
I haven't tried to do that.
No, that's awesome. Like,
what are the other facts you have in that little treasure trove?
Oh, like the set list from our first show back from the pandemic. Our album. I have a couple of posters. That all sorts of stuff. I'm one of those people. I don't have a huge collection of things, but I'm very sentimental. So I definitely have. Yeah.
Do you have a treasure trove?
I don't, but I was just thinking I have a friend who has a box of cursed objects.
Oh wow, it's very different.
It's
the other side of the coin of that. Yeah,
that's where my brain went. But I was like, but he also had a very loose definition of what a cursed object was. So I was like, okay.
Yeah, what are some cursed objects?
It was just really random. Like, oh, this was there once, and like this something bad happened. I'm like, well, I don't know. That's not a good example, but it was one of those where it's like you thought it'd be more like surprising.
Yeah.
And it wasn't. It was just like that's not really cursed.
So it wasn't like an amulet or like.
No, it's not like whatever happens at the beginning of The Exorcist. It wasn't that, because that's what was gonna happen. Like life's gonna change right now.
That's
but
funny.
Okay. different box.
Ticket stub, like our first the ticket like that had us in the Gories or whatever from the
Motorco
Duke performances, because it was like an actual like ticket that
Yeah,
looked like
that's
a real
crazy.
I was like, what? That's so cool.
Sound like an email? Yeah, that's,
It was like,
that's
I don't know, all sorts of stuff.
It's not
from
a
high
barcode?
School, like, yeah.
Oh,
that's
Get
really
in the
sweet.
vault.
Yeah. Yeah. If you're looking for a show to go to on a Monday night?
Monday night.
Monday night, or in like a week after that, a Sunday night, Bangzz has the goods for you. They're playing with Katie Alice Greer and
Celeste
the other one, Celestegram. I noticed that like it's not like the most similar like stylistically to y'all. Or are y'all anticipating like kind of a bit of a switch up in vibe between each set?
It's gonna be very different every single set, but I think it's kind of cool.
Yeah,
you know?
I do like that switch.
Yeah,
I love shows like that.
Yeah.
yeah. Because then sometimes on the other end of it, if you're too similar, right, it's just like the same and the same and the same.
Yeah.
Right. So it's like, yeah, I think a good mix is good. Because sometimes you want to just be like in the pit the entire time, you know, and that's great too. But sometimes you're like, no, I want to groove, then I want to cry, and then I want to pit. Like
In that order. Yeah. But yeah. This has been Off the Record. I've been Valkyrie. Y'all have been
Erika.
Jess.
Yeah, that is their comedy duo identity right there. And yeah, thank you so much for listening. Bangs to Bangs. Good night.